Hello everybody. Today inshallah we'll talk about the third edition of ISO 17025 2017. Okay, it's specifically talk about the general requirements for the competence of testing and calibration laboratories. Okay, that's the same scope like ISO 17025 2005, the second edition. And also, if we just make a comparison between 2017 and 2017 edition, 2005 and 2017, the comparison between the both, 2005 it has only 5 clauses, and 2017 it has 8 main clauses. As we'll see here, we'll go here to the contents. Here is the contents of ISO 17025 2017. The contents first, the first three clauses are talking about the scope, normative reference, and terms and definitions are the same. Means 2005 still the same, 2017 no any changes. But from clause number 4 to 8, it has some different and some modification and some cancellation. So we will go clause by clause and we'll talk about all of this one. Maybe you can cover it in 2 or 3 videos, inshallah. First, we'll talk about first clause is the scope. Second, the scope is normative reference. Third, the scope is terms and definition. Clauses first clause scope, second clause normative reference, third clause is terms and definition. Clause number 4 is general requirements, and it has 2 subclauses. So 2 subclauses is impartiality and confidentiality. And clause number 5 is talking about structural requirements. Clause number 6 is talking about resources requirements, and it has 6 subclauses. As you can see here, general, personnel, facilities, and environmental conditions and equipment, meteorological feasibility, externally provided product and services. Clause number 7, it has 11 clauses. Clause number 7, it has 11 subclauses. Process requirements. Clause number 7 name is process requirements, and it has 11 subclauses. First subclause 7.1 is review of request, tender, and contract. 7.2 selection, verification, and validation of method. 7.3 sampling. 7.4 handling of test and calibration item. 7.5 technical records. 7.6 evaluation of measurement uncertainty. 7.7 ensuring the validity of results. 7.8 reporting the results. 7.9 complaints. 7.10 non-conforming work. 7.11 control of data and information management. Clause number 8 is talking about management system requirements, and it has 9 subclauses, but it has 2 options. First, option A and option B in the 8 number 1, 8.1. 8.1 it has option 8.11 general, 8.12 option A, and option 3. 8.2 management system documentation, option B, option A. 8.3 control of management system, option A, and we'll go through all of this one during this video, inshallah. Let's go directly to the scope. As we said before, the scope is general requirements for the competence of testing and calibration laboratories, and general requirements for the competence of testing and calibration laboratories. Introduction, just a very quick introduction here. These documents require the laboratory plan and implement action to address risk and opportunities. Addressing both risks and opportunities establish basis for increasing effectiveness of management system. First, you have to know the risk in the lab, and you have to reduce this risk or eliminate this risks. Okay, and if we go directly here to the scope, as we said, the scope is general requirements for the competence of testing and calibration laboratories. That is the scope. Here, the scope, general requirements for the competence of testing and calibration laboratories, and it will include here also the sampling. That's the first clause, scope. Second clause is normative reference. Normative reference. Third clause is terms and definition. So the first three clauses are the same as in the standard ISO 17025/2005. I mean the second edition 2005. Let's go directly to clause number 4. Clause number 4. So, clause number 4. Here the definition, it will go here in the definition, the clause number 3, terms and definition. It will tell you what is the meaning of impartiality. That's new definition, impartiality and compliance and laboratory comparison, interlab comparison, ILC, and also BTP or PT, proficiency test or proficiency test program. This all are definitions, so that's why we can go fast in this one. Clause number 4, from here, that's new. That's new. If we compare it to 2000 for ISO standard to 2005, that is new clause. It's called general requirements. It has first subclause. It's called impartiality. Laboratory activities shall be undertaken impartially and structured and managed so as safeguard impartiality. So as to safeguard the impartiality means that the lab or the lab personnel should be should not have any pressure in their work or any what we call this one risk assessment. There should be no risk for this one, impartiality. The laboratory management shall be committed to impartiality. The laboratory shall be responsible for impartiality. The laboratory activities also shall not allow commercial or financial or other pressure to compromise the impartiality. The laboratory shall identify risks. The laboratory shall identify risks to its impartiality. So first clause, subclause is impartiality. In the general requirements is impartiality, and the second subclause 4.2 is confidentiality. So we have clause number 4. It's talking about general requirements. First subclause is talking about impartiality, and second subclause is 4.2. It's talking about confidentiality. So here we talk about, and here is the meaning. What is confidentiality? Actually, the confidentiality means the laboratory shall be responsible through legally enforced commitments for the management of information obtained or created during the performance of laboratory activities. The laboratory shall inform the customer in advance of the information it intends to place in the public domain. So the information will be confident between, there is confidentiality between the laboratory and the customers. Okay. We'll go to clause number 5 is talking about, clause number 5 is talking about first general requirements, impartiality and confidentiality. We'll go to clause number 5. It's called structural requirements. Now, here in this one, it has only few subclauses. We can talk about it fast. Laboratory shall be legal entity or a defined part of legal entity. That is legal responsible for laboratory's activities. For the purpose of this document, a governmental laboratory is deemed to be a legal entity on the basis of its government status. A laboratory shall identify management that has overall responsibility of the laboratory. The laboratory shall define the documents, the range laboratory activities for which it conforms with this document. Laboratory activities. Laboratory activities shall be carried out in such way as to meet the requirements of its documents. The laboratory's customer regulatory. Okay. 5.5 or subclause 5.5 is talking about laboratory defines the organization and management structure of laboratory. Its place in any parent organization. Specifies the responsibility. Laboratory should specify the responsibility, authority, and the interrelationship of all personnel who manage or perform or verify the work affecting the result in the laboratory. Document its procedure to the extent necessary to ensure the efficient application of the laboratory activities and validity of the result. Laboratory shall have personnel who, irrespective of other responsibilities, have authority or resources needed to carry out their, including implementation, maintenance, and improvement of management system or improvement of management